All right, we're off. Both miners in Lee's house. Yes,
Oh,
it
you
is.
get
Hey,
right.
we got Tam. How
Yes.
are we going?
We get powder as our first item, which is kind of a useful item.
It is a useful item. You can check magic
Hopefully,
bat with it. It's the only thing you
yeah,
can do with powder,
that's
right?
true. No, hopefully we get a chance to explain some of the more glitchy properties of powder later on.
Yeah, the last race I watched, we got lamp off of magic bat, which allowed us
Yes.
to not use the powder and not use the
Yes.
mushroom.
We fake powder to skip the powder very
Oh,
deeply.
very cute Flipper's location. In case you were
Oh, yeah.
wondering where the logic went.
We got rid of it.
Yeah, we get to do like huge major glitches like fake flipper and fake flipper through the floor.
Yeah, it's very funny and no logic, actually. The flippers make the water checks slower and more annoying. Kind of. But we like them because they are a lot more useful later on.
This is true. Alright, who's gonna make it through the wall first?
This is the first big hurdle of any no logic race.
Oh, they're
How
saying
quickly. Yes.
the race begins now. Let's see if
Yeah.
any of them do the bonk tech. I like how they pick different sides to cancel their swim. Neither of them is aware. Oh, JD just says no to water walk because probably they just have the flippers and can go whenever they want. That makes sense.
Yeah, that may be the reason why. It's actually, we have a clip that we can do to get. Oh, we're actually just going back. This is interesting. It looks quicker, actually, just comparing them.
Oh, how did you do that? That's a good point, though. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. It's so hard to register the items you just got. Anyway, we're synced again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not quicker if you go back in the warp, but
They're both like tripping on the geometry in different ways that happen to sync them up perfectly, and it's pretty funny. They're also choosing different movement options that are like equal in speed.
yeah.
Like one walks, one dashes, and it doesn't matter. If it's different, its frame's different. Don't do the chest bonk if you already have flips. Thank you. I would have done it, and I don't know what would have happened, but it might have made me sad.
Oh, to swim again?
I'm guessing is it just makes you swimming again, and you have to like re-cancel it on the pit, which is probably fine, but also annoying. It wouldn't save time.
Oh, they're both following the rules. You love to see it.
The rule. Okay, the
Make
rule's
love
a
go to
little
back
different.
escape.
The rule's a little different if you're a bomb juker. Because you do want to go in here with bombs and enough health to survive. If
That's
that's
true.
a play that you make. I don't think either of these players goes for it. It's not really a high value play. It gets you one extra check on the way to the escape. Oh, JD goes for it and also has bombs. Okay, cool.
Pretty small number of bombs, yeah. It's
I understand after one fail, knowing that you had to use your other two to try again, and then you'd have 0 bombs.
yeah.
Why you would bail on that?
It can also be a nice way to get to Uncle and escape, since you would be in the light world after the Duke, but we don't have the tools to do anything there.
That's
Either
true.
in terms of glitching or just doing escape. Neither of
Yeah,
those are possible.
you're just doing Uncle and leaving.
Yep.
Let's see, I think SimpleClips is a Lumberjack DMAer, so we might actually see the Lumberjack item. Some players check it and some players don't. I'm a no check person. I think it's usually useless.
In terms of standard opening routes for this category, there's 23 entrants in the tournament. There can very well be 23 different valid opening routes. We have so many options that we kind of do whatever we want, and it feels like 20-30 minutes from now, you end up having done the exact same checks as everyone else anyway.
It depends on how far out you are considering it to be an opener. Like if you're talking about
Yeah.
like what do you do immediately out of say your start, then most people are either starting at Sync and going through the Lost Woods, or they're starting at Link's house and going one of two directions.
Yeah.
But what you do beyond that can vary exponentially.
Most people will get some combination of Kakariko, South Shore, Mountain, and water checks done early on. Everyone has their own kind of pet likes and dislikes in terms of things they do and don't do.
Yeah, a lot of room for personality.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity to make your own success no matter where you go. It's not like casual boots where it's like if you don't go to the place that had the fire rod, you just lose. It's there are 2 fire rods, 2 ice rods because we don't want the game to be unbeatable and we want to encourage lower percent go modes. But other than that, like most things that are really good can be replaced by other things. Like you can miss the hook shot and still be fine if you maybe found the moon pearl somewhere else.
Yeah, it's pretty rare in this mode for runner A didn't do this check and they lost because of it to happen. There's so many combinations of ways to do things and so few items that are required that it really becomes more about just your own capabilities and ability to do glitches. This is one other thing that gets done very frequently early is this Death Mountain Descent to Graveyard Ledge. It's such a nice spot for farming bombs, and we get to land for free as a result of doing it.
When you come out of Houlihan, you have like 3 places you can go. You can go to, if you haven't already done Hobo, you can go there. And you can go to Saha's Closet, and usually you have enough bombs that you can go to South Shore and do that instead.
Yeah. You'll frequently have done one of these things before Houlihan, so just pick and choose the order, pretty much. Not many exciting items so far, though. Not since that powder.
Powder, glove, and flippers are nice. They're not immediately useful for glitching, but that's
Yeah.
okay because bombs are, and we have plenty of those.
Mm.
We also have blue mail, so you can survive bomb jukes more.
Blue mail is surprisingly powerful early on in no logic, but red mail is pretty universally disliked.
I know JD is a fan of picking up hearts and safeties.
It's super interesting seeing everyone's path through the land room.
Yeah, I think there is probably an optimal path. I don't know what it is. I just copied checks and assume that he knows what it is.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing. Copying checks is a pretty easy path to success in this mode. But we got the lamp in Mini Molom Cave, it looks like, which...
Alright. This obsoletes the powder immediately.
Yeah.
But we can check Magic Bat and then it's no longer useful.
Yeah, and we like this because we go to dark rooms a lot. Oh, JD was very kind there to scroll the camera. Normally that item is invisible.
That is very friendly. I don't know if they auto track themselves or not.
I wonder what's next. JD does not have many bombs, so I'm not sure we're going to Paradox Cave. Or maybe we're just gonna go and buy some. JD apparently is now a follower of the Doomtap school of thought, doing all these citrus clips instead of boost clips. This is something that was brought up in their last race, but it's kind of wild to me that neither of them use link-shaped sprites for
Not only
glitch
that,
modes.
but the Celeste sprite. It was one of the first sprites I tried when I played Randomizer, and I immediately rejected it because it was covering the shadow for like Ice Palace Bomb Jump, and I
Yeah, so
never used it again. And I can't believe that it's being used for a glitch mode when you have so many cues for a player who also speedruns the vanilla game. So you have to use different cues for Celeste and for Link. It's one thing to have only one sprite that you main, but to also play the vanilla game means that you're always going to have two sprites.
yeah. And it's not just Celeste is so tall, but I think it's Neptune that SimpleClips is using is so small. It's like they're both the wrong shape and size.
I think I could see Simple Clips working because of the hair is large, so you can see it in doorways.
Maybe, yeah.
Sprites that don't have hats are I don't use them in no logic, including my main sprite because it doesn't have a hat. It's hard to see in certain doors when you're all the way on the last pixel. Yeah, there are far worse sprites you could be using for no logic. If you want a challenge, you can play as Baba or something like that.
Not a very exciting cave. We're surprisingly short on items, but it may be that that's because we haven't been to Kakariko, which is something that a lot of people like doing.
Yeah, I have rules about Kakariko because I'm a big fan of going to desert with a bottle cane or maybe a mirror. Because being able to bomb feast on attic while in desert is really powerful.
Yeah, it's really a lot less about Kakariko and more about the things around Kakariko, which is mostly desert. There's so
It's
many things that we like doing.
desert and then the 3 dungeons that are around desert as well. It's
Yes,
big like spider web of things you can do from there.
desert and all of the sub-dungeons within it, which is most of them. Oh, JD has to get a bomb. They're stuck. Here is the Kakariko play. It's not a huge surprise because we just don't really have much else we can do right now. We
I
could
think
maybe go.
Zazra's Closet would have been a good
Yeah,
like last thing to do before Kakariko, but really, yeah, nothing else is calling out to us. You could maybe make an argument for Pod, but you at least want to have one key that opens doors in Cave State. And we only have one big key at all, and it is not one of those.
yeah. Escape would be a similar argument because it does have a key that we can use for cave states in the future, but we tend to like doing. If we're going to escape, we like going to Thieves Town from escape, and technically we could do that, but I think most people would be more comfortable waiting for better tools, especially since we can't actually beat Thieves Town. Well, SimpleClips can now, but for that sort we could not. This Quake could be very useful. Medallions are an item that are difficult to get around if we need to get the Maya Crystal. We see what powder is reduced to right now. It's just this check. We do get to clip there without the hammer, so it's not going to be left behind.
A little bit riskier to clip without the hammer, because if you do it wrong, you'll land inside the water and not splash out.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
You want to be confident with this if you're going to do that.
Hopefully neither of them made that mistake. They're remarkably in sync with each other here.
I
Both of
know.
them going to Kakariko and both of them needing to buy bombs.
At least something's in sync in this stream.
Yeah.
I always like wondering, you know, who thinks they're behind and who thinks they're ahead when they're perfectly synced. It's always a fun thought experiment.
Yeah, they come to Kakariko, they find nothing but a sword, and they're like, oh, my opponent skipped this.
Mm-hmm.
They're
My
off
opponent
doing
went to
other
pod
things.
and found like
Yeah, they
4 Cane of Samarias and a hook shot.
And the bottle on the flute, so they came to Kakariko and did everything. But no, they're both here. The sword does give us a lot more options for what to do next. That sword also gives us the same number of options.
What is Aga Tower? I've never heard of this place.
I've found myself doing Agatara a lot less because I go to escape early and don't have weapons.
I do it less because I do that bomb jig thing that puts me in the uncle.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to get to the castle tower that way if you don't have the right items. Even if you do, it's really slow.
Yeah, actually going through the barrier is something that doesn't happen very often. You either glitch past it or you don't do Agatara.
Really sad to see people having to quadrant glitch in the year 2024
Yeah.
in Desert Palace. We're supposed to quadrant glitch in other dungeons. This is like one of the only quadrant glitches we used to do, and it's now like no longer used because of all the Desert Thieves shenanigans you can do.
Yeah.
And you've always been able to do that, but it didn't come into vogue until after the last No Logic tournament. So SimpleClips did not get a quadrant glitch. If it's successful, you'll see the screen shift slightly horizontally.
Yeah, they're a little high up, I think.
Yeah, you can't be exactly on the transition. You need to be a little bit lower. There's a couple spots that work. Although I've seen people make it work where they get hit twice, and the second one quadrant glitches them.
Yeah, that one seems like the more foolproof brain off method, which is like, I totally... Wait. Looks like we are back with synced audio.
Sweet. I love sinks.
Did not get to see what was on Right Side Desert, but JD will probably be showing us briefly.
Well, we wouldn't have seen it anyway.
That's true.
Maybe we would have. You have a chance to have a good and be able to see your items.
We didn't see that we were not seeing Right Side Desert.
You know, our No Logic trackers are psychic, by the way. So like other Tom will just know what they have.
Yeah.
We only hire the psychic trackers for people who can see like the invisible chests and so on. That's why I'm on comms. I'm not psychic.
Tracking is hard enough normally, but in No Logic when we do all these invisible checks and duping and crystal duping as well, it gets really out of hand.
JD just knows the pixel, and I could not tell you if this is correct because Celeste has big boots on and it covers the shadow. That looks good though. I could see at least the camera shifting. I understand the sentiment of I don't want to have to use 2 bombs to death whip out of here, but it can be a little risky trying to get down to exact health. This is why I don't like the quadrant glitch. If you do anything from Desert Thieves, you can always death warp out with something other than bombs. And I lost a tournament because of being healed in that room. I'm still bitter about that.
It's a very unfortunate feeling when you do these invisible items that you have to death warp out of and you get the health refill.
Well, good news. Saw's Closet was also trash, so it didn't matter that they went to CAC, because they were always going to go to CAC with nothing, unless they wanted to clown route.
We do see the desert, or pod rather, is the green pendant, which is a little interesting. No. We tend to like going to pod, but finding out that it's a green pendant can make you not want to go to pod.
Okay, JD knows how to fix the camera, apparently. Setting up a very specific, like, sub-pixel dash to make it so that we can see what they get. Very nice. Love to see it. I think even that bonk is intentional to get the camera a little bit more fixed.
Yeah, possibly.
I do like this shock sprite that the Final Fantasy VI characters have. Mm-hmm. There's definitely, I can see why you would play as this sprite. I mean, I picked it for a reason too. That one time I played. Alright, we're doing a quadrant glitch that you usually only see in speedruns on SimpleClips' side. But it's not working out for him, so I'll just do it normally. I don't think you want to do this if you don't have the big key.
Yeah, it's a little less desirable without the big key because you can only get the big key chest. And we have other quicker ways of doing that. But meanwhile, JD is doing a really cool and not very used, or trying to.
That was cool, but didn't work. So we're going to use a backup, a more traditional teleport. Gets you up here. I forget what speedrun does that. I think it's like some all dungeons route. It's Zora. It's a way to get to Zora, which is like interesting because people don't usually like to do Zora in No Logic, but JD is maybe wanting to get a little bit of an advantage on SimpleClips, and also maybe just running out of ideas. Yeah, there are things they can do, like pod is just available, and the escape is available, but those are boring.
Yeah, it's genuinely a little annoying to go to places without good glitching tools.
You take that back, other Tom. We have a hammer on Zora.
Yeah, hammer on Zora is...
That's really spicy. I mean, like, Ice Palace is hard to enter right now, but it is otherwise free. We have bombos and a sword and hammer and glove. Like, it's an interesting thing you can do early, as soon as you get some kind of way to enter. Which could just be a moon pearl. Could be another glove.
Yeah, technically we can get in right now, but it's awful. It's not really worth considering.
Yeah, the only way I can think of is you get some kind of overworld link state using like an item that you manual clip to, and then you flip a wrap in. I just don't see that being something you choose to do when you have other options.
Yeah, I mean, hammer it's not really used for many glitches, but it's really good for just doing things normally, which we like doing.
Completely overlooked SimpleClips found a bottle in Eastern.
Yeah, that was in the map chest of Eastern.
Oh, isn't that the dupable one?
They're all vaguely dupable. It's the one on the right.
Oh, okay. That one is annoying to dupe. Because the room before it has a shutter door. So you have to, like... I don't know how to YBA into that shutter door. Or you have to go into the main area and, like, use the big deep door, which is also annoying in its own way.
You could probably use the dark key room.
Maybe, yeah, going north. That's also a shutter door, but it's at least a north shutter door. Probably not worth it. Bottles are good, but like usually you find enough. You really only need 2 for most things. 3 is more of a comfort level, or you're in a terrible go mode where you actually need 3 and you would rather just have something else.
Yeah, you tend to only do bottles when it's either free or necessary, not like for fun. Okay, we're finally getting them splitting up a little bit. SimpleClips went to Eastern, of course, and found the bottle, and is now going to pod without a cave state key.
I think that's fine. It's 1 item you're missing. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, JD is going to escape and getting the cave state key.
I agree with JD's ordering. Like, I do think that you have these 2 options available, that you should pick the one first that guarantees you a cave state key. And you'll probably end up doing this anyway, especially if nothing is in pod. There are other things I want to find before pod, too. Like, I would want to find a hookshot, because you can get to Hookshot Cave from here.
Mm. Yeah, SimpleClips did bring a bottle. I wonder if they'll plan on going to Hera and unlocking things there.
Hera is not great because you also still don't have a cave state key. You can't do any unlocking when you're there. I think GT is a better play, maybe, if you're going to use the bottle here.
It does make the ordering more suspect, but
it also might be
that's not a problem.
like duping insurance. Like, if you do find something here that you want, then you at least have the bottle available.
Yep.
Can you unlock the big door from the back? You usually can. That's true. You have to like succeed at the. There's like a navigating that room backwards is a little weird. I feel like the bomb jump just doesn't work sometimes.
I think the doors. Sorry.
Is it really a small key door there? I've never noticed that.
No, I don't think on doors you can reach the other side of. There is a key door. So like Turtle Rock doesn't have one, Hera doesn't have one.
Oh, it's like a rando thing. Meyer has one though.
Yeah, some do. I think I don't know what the because you can reach the back of Maya. So
oh, it's a
I don't know what's up with that.
subtile. Okay, I'm not crazy. There isn't a key door there. I think there's just nothing there. You can just walk through it, but you can't unlock it that way. It's like Thieves' Town is also another one where that's relevant to No Logic, where you can unlock it with a small key, which sometimes we do if we're coming from desert.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But yeah, apparently it's only super tile doors where that's the case. I never thought of like there even existing subtile big key doors, but I guess Hera has one. Can you think of any others?
Turtle Rock is one. The first one. The one we always way past.
That's a super tile? No, it's a wait.
Wait, no.
No, that's a super tile.
Yeah.
Because it has a small key door on the back in vanilla.
Not in Rando though, right?
Well, in Rando they removed it because it's soft lock potential for for cowardly no glitch players.
It's true in Hera
I think
as well.
that they need 4 keys and cross keys to beat Turtle Rock for some reason. I understand the logic that you'd have to write to make that work. It would be annoying. So the devs just get rid of the key. But that's not a problem in No Logic.
I'm not gonna think about it anymore. It's not relevant.
Yeah, thinking about logic is hard. That's why we just turned it off for this tournament.
Yeah. We're too cowardly to think about logic here.
Yeah, every other year we do an HMG tournament, and then we get really brain fried over thinking about HMG logic, and we say next year we're not doing we're not doing logic at all. Also, nice, very rare find for JD getting the big chest of thieves at all, and No Logic is rare. Also found a flute in Blind Cell.
Yeah, JD actually got here with the double duke, which is pretty cool to see. It's sort of our bottle-less alternative for some YPAs. And
JD is a big proponent of that juke. Also, this is an example of a player like learning a skill that they know other players are less likely to use and using it in the race to get an advantage. Like most of the players who've been racing for a long time will have a skill that's like that they know other players aren't going to use.
Yeah.
And that's definitely one that JD has over a lot of players.
Yeah, it's a great antidote to I want to do escape, but I don't have a way to get to Thieves Town. Because normally you would need a bottle to do this.
SimpleClips also did a juke. And this is a cave state cave. Hookshot cave.
Cave State Hookshot Cave.
Yes.
Yeah, SimpleClips knew that there was no need to kill Helmasaur as its appendant. So we just came straight here. The sword is very nice.
Very lucky that it's in that chest and not the others.
Yeah.
I'm sure the other ones have like the hookshot and cane though. Which
Yeah.
we'll never see because neither player hovers.
Yeah, we'll see if SimpleClips chooses to continue to GT. They have the option of doing that with the Persian.
Oh, it looks like JD did the correct route through Thieves Town, which is getting the right side first, and then getting the left side on the way back in.
Yeah.
I copied that from you, and then Mr. Buyer actually timed it, and it is faster.
I don't remember if I copied it from someone. I might have. JD doesn't get to make use of the attic being open. I mean, they were not able to open it, but then because we're duking, we don't have the option of grabbing blind on the first trip anyway, so it's kind of it doesn't matter in the end.
That's true. Yeah, it's the scarcity of bottles in the seed has made that an inevitability, really. I mean, maybe if you're a player who does Eastern very early, we saw a couple people who do that, but not in this matchup. Oh, nice subpixel or God Pixel, and it was like a correction God Pixel, which is really hard to do. SimpleClips getting did a super tile YBA to despawn the Armoses, or maybe just was already in cave state. I'm not actually sure.
No, they went and did Super Bunny and came back. And this is with the subtile YBA. Also, having to leave behind this chest. A little sad, but...
Yeah. They did find a key. He found a key, but it was Hera, which is not a key that works in caves. But I guess we could just...
big key to have, though.
Yeah, it works in Hera. Hera Big is actually one of the better big keys that isn't a cave state big key. That was an interesting solution.
Lighting the torch.
Okay. I always forget you can do that.
Lighting this torch is surprisingly powerful sometimes. You can bonk off the bottom part.
Yeah, you can bonk off the bottom part. Also, you can see the torch item briefly. I missed it, but no, we still don't have the cave state big key. I missed it, but when you have this like super tile YBA desync state, you can see the torch item and then know whether you need to come back in for it or not.
Yeah, it's sort of the downside of the super tile YBA. It despawns ice armors, or it desyncs you from ice armors, but it also desyncs you from everything else. So you can't grab the torch item, and you wouldn't be able to go left side. SimpleClips didn't have the hammer, so they wouldn't have been able to anyway, but there's no switches to continue through the left side if you wanted to go.
Did you juke?
That's before the switches anyway.
I think you can juke.
Yeah, you can juke, but if you wanted to go to Rando Room, for instance, like if JD had done the same thing, they wouldn't be able to go to Rando Room.
But you could just walk out of GT and back in and just be in GT, and that's fine too. I think Super Tile YBA there is usually the correct option if you happen to have a red or blue potion.
Yeah, it's done a lot less frequently than it should be. Ugh, classic pendant.
Of course. At least the flute was here, which is not amazing, but it is a convenience item for buying potions to fill the bottles that you don't have. Because the seed just doesn't have bottles, apparently.
We saw from SimpleClips, we didn't get the trifecta of annoying pendants. We get Crystal Hera, but...
What's your third annoying pendant?
Oh, I just mean that it's annoying. If Hera is a pendant, it's annoying for it to be a pendant.
Yeah. And the other one is Thieves. I'm curious what your third is.
It's Pod.
It's Pod. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I kind of like Pod as a pendant, because when I do Pod, I don't like to actually kill Helmasaur in the first trip, so I like to not have to think about Helmasaur.
That's fair.
I would say, like, my annoying pendant is maybe, like Eastern or Skull. Like, Eastern is pretty free,
Skull.
You know? The Quadrant Glitch, you can just do it. With like one bottle and one sword and one lamp or fire rod.
we got our first rod from JD in the brewery, so that's also another part of the trip to make it worthwhile.
It is a rod that we will probably need, but it's not really useful yet. Especially because even for its like glitchy purposes, we have better alternatives.
Yeah, the only real misleading glitch we can do right now is conveyor, which we could do without the ice rod anyway.
Oh, that's right. You can do it with just bombs now, huh?
Yeah.
Bombs in deep water.
Yeah, we don't do conveyor with boat in 2024. We used to when it was awful and no one liked it.
I still use bow. The slot Zero Samaria is also really good. But I
Yeah, that's
understand the
best
appeal
one.
of the deep water setup because you can just do it with bombs and you don't need to worry about filling slots.
JD getting the pod info.
Not going to
I haven't
Eastern
been to
though.
pod yet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so this is a lack of bottle continuing for JD. SimpleClips will have that advantage of bottle.
Yeah. Although I don't believe SimpleClips got anything from their YBA to GT.
There was just yeah, I guess the YBA to GT wasn't much. The sword was in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah.
I don't know if JD will like choose to do that though, because that's only 3 items. One thing
Yeah,
JD might do with the hammer is go to GT and clear out left side.
Yeah, the alternate exit of GT, which is the front or entrance. Yeah, it's sort of JD just doesn't have great things to do without that bottle. They would like to go to pod, but they just learned that it's a pendant. It may go anyway. Do some checks.
I still think you go to pod. You just leave the
Yeah.
place. Pod or GT, they're both good. They're also both bad. This will
If
be
you
a
can't
pod play.
beat a dungeon, you should just do a bunch of checks. And pod is
Exactly.
the most number of checks you can do right now.
No logic all oscillates between this like do dungeons, get a lot of things, do dungeons, get a lot of things. It's
Yeah.
like a cycle of like refueling.
Yeah, it tends to be that the first like 30 minutes give you enough to do some dungeons, and then you do them, and then you have to go look for more items to be in go mode. Or the seed is being a little stingy on that front.
The seed is giving a really weird selection of items that are better for late game than they are for early game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's nice to have glove and hammer for ice, but we're not doing ice yet. It's nice to have ice rod, but we can't kill Trinix yet without fire rod, so what's the point?
Yeah, at some point we're gonna find like cane and hookshot, and then gonna use those to do a bunch of dungeons and find everything else. But until then, we're like kind of scraping the barrel for checks to do.
SimpleClips is taking that bottle that he found in Eastern and using it to go to Eastern.
Yeah, the big key of Eastern.
Yes, this is the big key of Eastern Palace. Even though we're not actually spending on big key doors, because there is a small key door in this one. Just like we were discussing. Oh!
They will be- Wow,
Oh.
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. It didn't
It would
really
be
matter,
a lot
but-
worse if the other sword wasn't immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it's you also don't expect that to be an advantage to you. You expect everyone to have that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fire rod is here. I didn't realize SimpleClips didn't even go that far in Eastern. But if you find a bottle that early, I guess it makes sense. I'm going to use
Yeah,
that
just
bottle to go
leave.
to Eastern. Might as well get it then.
Yeah. No, it does make a lot of sense.
Cool. We just went from like stingy to almost go mode between the two runners.
Yeah. We're still missing out on glitching items, but
This is where you start duping the bottle.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of looking a little like that. We have some dungeons that would be a pain to try to beat right now, even if both of them had both of the rods. Kind of mostly looking at Swamp and Maya. it's also not meaningless that SimpleClips is probably not going to get the hammer, because with one bottle, ice is a kind of a real problem for them.
It's true, but I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about beating dungeons right now. I did talk about Go mode, but I don't think they're actually going to start attempting Go mode on a single bottle. I think SimpleClips is going for the dungeons that one bottle helps with, one of them being Eastern and one of them being Desert.
Yeah.
This might even be like... No, I think it's just purely Desert. Like, yeah, we're just... I have a glove. Okay, where are we going? I wasn't expecting front of Desert.
Yeah, maybe this is the attic.
I don't
That's
think
gonna
this saves
use
time over doing
the
Thieves' Attic
potion.
from Thieves, though.
Yeah.
I don't see the... No, that's not where we're going. Oh, we have a Desert Small Key!
We did right
It
side
doesn't help.
desert.
You need 2 bottles for that. Okay. We
It
are
is the
going
attic.
Thieves.
Maybe we're just doing these down completely, not just the attic. Because we can do that.
Can't without the big key of Desert.
Oh no, we cannot do that.
You can unlock it,
Maybe
but...
we're just going to the front. Yeah.
Because I don't, as much as I love the Desert Thieves Attic, I think it's better to, like, if you're starting from a save and quit, you should just go to Uncle and do it there. Even though it will take longer to get to Attic, it's certainly not longer than schlepping all the way to Desert to do it. Unless you have other business here.
They also don't have the flute that JD has. JD did leave from pod. They didn't go anywhere, and they didn't beat Helmosaur, which is fine. I mean, they got the useful stuff.
It's pretty good that they both found the sword in pod.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, SimpleClips. This probably will be escape, I think, or maybe a potion and then escape, because they're really going to need a cave state key for Thieves Town. I mean, they don't know that they don't have to do Thieves Town, but
I think it's a given that you do the escape before Thieves when you're this...
Yeah.
When it's being this stingy. It's one of your last vestiges of, like, density that you have available to you.
I mean, SimpleClips chose to do the attic instead of Landmer, so I suspect that we're seeing Thieves Town. Meanwhile, JD about to get the Hera Crystal.
You know, funny enough, it seems like JD has a Desert Big Key. Where was that?
I did not see that. I guess probably somewhere in the Thieves play.
Yeah, or in the overworld. So, like, you'd have to go to Thieves first. You can't use the Desert Big Key to get to Thieves. But they could just go to Desert and can fly there and do it. They even have the book if they don't want to do the bomb clip.
That would be very cursed. But it is a possibility.
I don't even think it's bad, because you're going to get the big chest anyway.
That is,
as well.
That is true.
The real Galaxy Brain is you bring a potion in and you YBA from the big chest to the back of Desert, which is arguably not faster, but way cooler.
No, JD is still missing that bottle, so...
Oh, that's right.
The only option right now is doing Desert normally.
That's right. I can't believe that they had to resort to that.
Yeah, that's a good reason to put off Desert, the fact that you don't get to do glitches to do it.
It's a dark crossplay. Just one item, but it is part of Hera, so I might as well check it.
Yeah, the thing is, if it's not for doing this check this way, a lot of people just don't do this check.
This is so easy to ignore. It's not even that bad to do, it's just... It's vaguely tied to 2 dungeons, but not quite fast enough to feel like it's worth it. And it's also really easy to justify saying, I'll just do it with the other dungeon.
I've had a number of seeds where it's my very last check as I'm duping a different crystal entirely.
Have you ever found my medallion in that while doing the dupe?
Thankfully not. It would really hurt to do that.
The closest thing I've done is found flippers in Castle Tower on the way to Swamp.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's better than not having them, I guess. Yeah, we are going to desert there. Meanwhile, SimpleClips about to get a pendant.
Are we in? Are we actually in Thieves Town right now?
It's a good question.
I guess we'll see
We
if
might
the
not
crystal
be.
drops her a compass.
Yeah.
That's
No, this is Cape State. Yeah, because of the key
yeah.
town. It may be that the front door has been opened at some point. And
I hope so, but it's not like it's easy to get to without the pearl. You have to walk
yeah,
to it. And I'm sure the actual front door of Thieves isn't open.
no,
I
I
think
doubt it.
I think that was a mistake. I think it was intended to actually LSD blind so you could walk out.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You just don't press select.
It's also like the way it looks. It doesn't look like a cave, so you don't
Yeah,
think of it as cave state. You just think of it as like I'm in the castle or something.
yeah, you take the staircase, which fixes it. Ice Road Lander fight for JD, one of my least favorite fights.
Okay, we have tempered sword to back it up. Oh, the mitts are here. That's free ice palace. Oh, and a pendant.
There is our pendant.
And JD definitely dodging that because that pendant is
Yeah.
actually more useful when you collect it from a different boss.
Yeah. Which sounds very weird, but we can use the pendant. Whichever boss we kill will be walked to the front of that dungeon instead of desert. So sometimes it can be difficult to reach the front of swamp or mire, and this is the way that we do it.
Surprised to see JD returning to desert. I wonder if this is. Maybe we didn't see Big Chest yet?
Yeah, maybe we just forgot the big chest. SimpleClips, fake fluting. I wonder if they're just the thieves.
Oh, yeah, I think so. It's just kind of like fixing an error, but also you can get some more stuff here than you could otherwise. Like, you can get more stuff as a, fake flute link than you can as a bunny. Everyone has a different route they take through village. But you have to avoid getting hit and you have to avoid bonking before you touch one of these tree poles.
Yeah, the common way to go is up, because you want to go to Bumper Cave to look at that item, but it's a lot more dangerous.
JD found the mushroom in Desert Big Chest, which would be more exciting if we didn't already have the lamp.
No, at this point it's just a mushroom.
Okay, this time I think we're looking at the Mire Medallion and maybe attempting a Damage Boost Super Bunny. The Damage Boost Super Bunny is super annoying because the bird has to hit you from below.
Yeah.
And you have to be facing up and you have to not be in splash iframes, which you wouldn't be, at least with the flippers. It's good to peek the medallion. We do have the Quake Medallion, which opens Mire. So you like that was oh yeah, you do splash because you're a bunny, and then you also get this like weird
You get to surf.
surf. Yeah, it's really annoying to have the flippers and you're a bunny in this area.
Yeah. We got the important prize though, which was the medallion info, and importantly, it's one that we have.
I still think we should just go to ice. I know like people like to wait for cane, but in No Logic, you don't get picky about that. If you have cane, you have bigger fish to fry.
Ice is good now. The annoying thing is that you have bombos instead of fire room, but it's still a dungeon. Still 7 checks that we can get.
It's also, according to JD's tracker, a crystal. Because JD has found all the pendants, whether by map or by just finding them.
Yeah, JD killed 2 pendant bosses and was told by Sahasrara of the 3rd. This was, funnily enough, until the mid showed up, this was a perfect ice conveyor seed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dot in shambles.
Yeah, where do you set up? I guess you just had to set up in like the dam area. If you don't have the installer for it, you have to go into the deep water.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awful.
It would be awful. I feel like there are better ways to just do anything.
Yeah.
Might as well conveyor to Mire at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Stealing a key.
Yeah, I kind of like just
I think
always
it's
stealing a
good.
key.
I think it's good if you don't have cane. If you have cane, you don't need to. But if you don't have cane or you're missing hammer or glove, you definitely want to steal that. It lets you route ice a little bit more efficiently. Oh, we're doing dash clipping. I think that might be some kind of
No.
Oh, that's not great because they can't leave now.
Yeah, this is. Normally you want to
Yeah.
hold away from walls, but sometimes you want to hold into walls. So you kind of just have to remember which one gets you free and which one gets you stuck.
That's true. I didn't think of that as being collision kicking would actually like put you back in the wall. Your instinct of pushing out of the wall will not work there. You actually do want to hold away from the wall. Oh, big key of Ganon's Tower. It's the first cave state key
Finally,
that's not
yes.
in Hyrule Castle. Also,
That's
SimpleClips has
SimpleClips
already
is
been
first.
to the big chest of GT, so
That's also
probably
true.
won't get used. Oh no, you can totally dash clip there. I mean, it's in the world record. All dungeons run. But yeah, you do have to hold down right after the clip. And it's hard to save time with it. It's even harder, I think, with the bomb instead of the cane. I wasn't able to save time on it without doing cane strats that I wasn't capable of, so I just don't go for it. I think they just like to practice this because it's in their speedrun.
Yeah, they also did a different citrus earlier. Maybe they're just having fun. We press the right direction this time. We're also skipping the penguin chest, which I kind of like in this situation.
It's good to skip Pangator chest, in my opinion, when you don't have cane. Because
Yeah.
it's so fast to drop into this hole after clipping. And you can get to the Pangator chest at the end if you want.
Yeah.
You usually have
Saving
more
quick for that.
keys coming out of ice, especially in modes that are not key sanity. That you can just walk through the front and do it quicker that way.
Yep. SimpleClips taking the fire to skull. Didn't get anything since the GT pick, I think.
That's true. I didn't think of Fire Rod as being, oh, now Skull is free for SimpleClips, but
Yeah.
that's true. It's free. If you have the ability to kill Moth, like you're, good enough at it on your equipment, and you have a sword and a Fire Rod, you can just walk here with nothing else.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to Ice in that sense. Ice is more difficult to get into, but they're both dungeons where you can just get most of the items if you can reach it.
Well, it could be a little awkward if you don't have a key. They do, so
Yeah.
one key is good enough. Having 0 is super annoying.
Yeah. Will SimpleClips not get the ice rod from the brewery?
That's a good point. I'm not sure. I thought SimpleClips came out as a bunny.
That's possible, yeah.
The fact that SimpleClips is in the Dark World at all is indicative of SimpleClips actually just fake looted straight into Thieves Town and didn't Death Warp. So
yeah.
maybe he bombed. I don't even know if he bombed the attic. That could be a problem if he didn't bomb the hut because he might never come back here.
Yeah, it's like cool routing. It's just really unfortunate in this case that
Nice fight.
the item was in the brewery.
There is another ice thread out there, so maybe it worked. Okay, so
Yeah.
Doomtap thinks he bombed, so he could walk there at some point. The problem is that you have to make a dedicated trip off the mountain, or you have to find the moon pearl later.
You know what was possible actually? Doing the brewery, opening Thieves, doing the brewery, and then walking through Thieves as a bunny to get to the boss room. The boss was already dead, so...
Oh, the boss is already dead. Oh, what?
It would have been very silly. Like,
There's nothing stopping you, is there? I didn't think about that. What happens if you pick up a crystal as a bunny? I've never done that before.
I don't actually know.
Do you come out with Super Bunny?
It's a really good question. I think SimpleClips hadn't done the checks in the front, so it was more checks to do these
Oh, I
down.
love
But
this room. This is my favorite room in the game that JD's in.
this room is so bad once it goes off the rails.
I didn't know this room had rails.
Yeah. The rails exist if you have the hook shot. Oh, it's a pretty bad room. It's good that we only see it in rando and not speedruns. Although if we saw it in speedruns, we'd probably have more dedicated strats. Oh, we actually get to check Sick Kit. JD still has no bottle, so it's kind of good for them that it had nothing. This is an absurdly long time to go without a bottle.
It's true, and it's also like an absurd number of dungeons to be able to complete without a bottle.
Yeah.
Like JD could... I think JD's gonna run out of things very soon, but... Maybe overall compare to Meyer is an option, if they could figure it out with their items.
Yeah, I think they could probably get the Maya prize and then do the Duke to get to Vitreous from Desert. That would be an option. I don't expect them to do that, but they could.
There's a juke. Is that the new one?
Yeah, the
Where
new
you have
one
to
with
like bomb the wall?
Yeah,
Use
it's very
quadruplet.
annoying and frustrating.
Yikes.
But in a crazy world where they just get the fire rod and decide to go mode for some reason, it would be an option. Okay, JD is going back in for the Pengator chest. And since they're killing the freezer, I think they're just going through. They're not bothering with the clip.
I think even with bombos, it's probably faster to go this way.
It's simpler, which is, I'm always in favor of simpler.
Yeah, we always go for the simple clips in this.
Yes.
Swamp Key of Hera. Okay.
Pretty good one, actually.
That's a Swamp Key. That's a more we can do. Like, we can at least get Swamp Crystal and worry about Argus later.
Yeah.
SimpleClips getting the pendant of Desert, which is significant because now he can't use that pendant to warp out of other dungeons. Like, he can't use it to warp out of Argus to get back to the front of Swamp. But that's probably fine. He'll probably solve Swamp differently anyway. If he gets items in the similar order that JD gets, then he's probably likely to do Swamp Crystal before Argus anyway.
Yeah. It would actually be really great in this situation to use the Desert Prize to get to the front of Maya. Because it can be a real pain to get to the front of Maya without a bow. Not being useful. I wonder where JD is going next, because they really just need a bottle, honestly. They could go to GT. GT is kind of a good option for them right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go, but also they did have ice available, so it kind of makes sense that they're clearing dungeons they can do. It's weird because it feels like JD is ahead, but that bottle missing is like super awkward, and it's hard to know when JD will go to Eastern, probably find another bottle and then go to Eastern using that bottle, or find the big key. I think would be enough, because that would allow a quadrant glitch solution to Eastern that involves going in from the front and doesn't need a bottle.
Yeah, Eastern has become a lot simpler with recent discoveries, but JD still does not have any of the tools to do Eastern at all. There's a lot of things that could help JD. Even the hook shot could take JD to Eastern, but yeah, this is GT. We saw a little bit of indecision, perhaps thinking about Skullwoods instead.
There we go. Yeah, that was an option too. It's true. With 2 fire rods in the pool, I would think you wait. You also would like to have Cane and Skull because you can do some really cool things in there to make it more efficient, like hard lock your game.
Yeah, exactly. Or cause a lot of VRAM. No, it's fairly likely that JD will find something useful here. There's a number of checks that SimpleClips did not do while they were here.
It's true. There's also a lot that he did do that weren't anything.
It's also it's good that JD has powder because otherwise, if they were facing a beamless Ice Armors fight, that would be awful.
They have the Cane of Burna. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
true.
not enough, but it's fine.
It
You
is
can get
better
most
than
of the
just
way
sword.
there, and then just
Yeah.
sword. And it's not even the bad sword; it's the tempered. So you can. I think you could do a decent fight without beams. Ooh. So this is something SimpleClips could have done with a juke if he knew it.
Yeah.
Let's see what it is. So far, nothing. I like how JD is significantly richer than SimpleClips despite having
Yes.
bought the hammer for $500.
Yeah, SimpleClips has been buying entry into a number of dungeons. They're subscribing, whereas JD has done their outright purchase.
Yeah, one of them is using like Photoshop and the other one's using Clip Studio Paint.
Yeah.
Artist joke. Okay. You got what, 5 more checks for JD that we didn't see from SimpleClips? That's not looking good because it's only 5. It's like doing Hype Cave. Also,
Yeah,
I don't think we saw Hype Cave yet. That's another one you could just burn a blue on if you're SimpleClips.
Yeah, that is
Not
an
so
option.
much if you're JD.
No. JD will be unable to do the big chest because they don't have the GT big key. SimpleClips was also unable to do the GT big chest because of not having the GT big key, but for a different reason. This is kind of JD's last chance to find something here. So there's nothing behind Ice Armors. Okay. That's one thing.
Oh no, negative value.
Yeah. Well, was that a fire rod or an ice rod?
It was a fire rod,
right?
which is good because JD can also waste time in Skullwoods.
Yes, to finding nothing and doing a really slow death warp with 12 hearts red mail. It is necessary, but I don't think I don't quite remember, but the other fire rod was not so difficult to find.
Okay, JD picking up the correct pot. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah, JD kind of really needs the magic right
Oh,
now.
SimpleClips doesn't have the hammer, so we're doing a YBA.
Oh,
Let's
yes.
see how this goes.
Do we have the right version?
This is a slightly less free Ice Palace for him. I hope he
We do have a blue.
Yes, good.
That's our select buffer.
JD did not do powder. He suggested. This is just straight burn a fight. Okay, this looks good. Now we just have to do the wiggle or the bonk. That's a bonk. Okay, good. The Tam Slam, they call it.
Yeah. It's mine because I was so annoyed with the other version that I had to come up with something different.
I never had problems with the other version, and the 2 times I tried yours, I soft locked, so I gave up on it. Okay, this is fine.
Scary,
We are okay here. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Oh, jeez. It's okay to pause the game when you're in trouble. Okay,
Completely
we're good.
fine.
We're good.
Textbook.
Let's go. It's so scary to do a YBA into Cold Stare and then actually have to do the fight.
Yeah, it does make the fight a little more challenging. Yeah, I guess JD will be going to Skullwoods now. I wonder where SimpleClips will go. Could maybe see a Maya play? Or just some fake fluting? There's still Easton.
Spend the Desert Small because they could spend it in Mire, YBA from Desert to Mire, and then move backwards and spend that small key. But then you might be locking an option to do Swamp Palace later.
Yeah, I think they still have it. If anything, I would expect them to go beat Easton and then YBA from Easton, because they haven't killed boss yet.
That's
they opened
true.
it up and then left.
I kind of like I like what he did there. I like that he saved Armos for when he wanted to do something else in Eastern, because it's tempting to just be like, oh, I can just do this crystal, but to make a dedicated trip into Eastern and then not have anything else to do after it drops nothing is a little bit short-sighted, and it's good to have a plan beyond that.
Yeah, especially already having been in the front of Easton and doing most of the checks. One of the worst things about the YBA from Easton to Mire is just getting to Easton. So if you're already in Easton, it becomes a lot better. This is SimpleClips' third time in Easton, and JD has been 0 times, which is a little striking.
It's a bottle with their name on it. Just waiting. And a fire rod, but, you know, it doesn't matter anymore.
I really want to know where these other bottles are. They have to be somewhere.
They're in Turtle Rock, and they're all dupable.
Yeah, there's infinite bottles in Lava Chest.
Oh, I love finding the Ganon's Tower big here right after being in Ganon's Tower. Why are we going here?
Are we getting magic?
Maybe. You can get magic in the middle.
Yeah.
I guess that is what we're doing. Maybe they're thinking they'll get the pots in the roundabout room. In the back of Skull, instead of getting the big magic in the middle.
Maybe.
So this is Quadrant Glitch Eastern. Well, it's one of them. This is the important one for Rando, because it skips the bow. You have to do 2 Quadrant Glitches consecutively, one to break your camera and the other one to fix it again. In a way that keeps your actual camera broken, but when you take transitions, it's stable.
Very strange that the way to do Easton is actually to just do nothing. We have like a net neutral effect on our transitions, but just unlocking the camera is enough for what we need to do.
Yeah, it just jogs it slightly.
Yeah. It also results in the most scary, stable transitions ever.
Yeah, they look... And you have to trust that you did your quadrant glitches right. Yeah. So you go in here not knowing if you did it right until you've gone through the store and are not stuck in a wall. And then beyond that, you just have to trust it.
Yeah,
once you've been through one, it's fine.
If you didn't know better, you would tell people never to take a transition like that because it's a very high hard lock risk.
Well, yeah, at least in the underworld, there's a soft lock.
That's true.
You're not gonna lose your save file, but you are going to probably have to save and quit out. In the overworld, that is we will slap your wrist if we see you do that, even if we don't actually know that it's gonna soft lock.
That was a nice grouping strat for SimpleClips with the eyeballs, but somehow one of them split up and ruined it.
I love frame rules.
Yeah, JD did skip the magic in the middle, so... They're also... Okay, they're getting this one.
It's always interesting to see the routes people take in this room when they're getting the pots.
Yeah, you can get that one last and walk up along the side of the pit. but it looks a little weird.
I've also seen interesting uses of hookshot in that room.
Yeah, you can... Hookshotting to the pot definitely looks like it doesn't work. You actually hookshot to the torch. Oh no.
What happened? We went out?
Around the magic.
Well, we know the magic pack is,
The guards, yeah.
yeah, and the fairy pack is the bomb enemies, so it's not gonna be here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to reload and use lamp.
Oh yeah, that's right, they did have the lamp. Boomerang.
Boomerang?
That's a
Cheaper
future
roll?
really good item when we get
Yeah,
hookshot later.
potentially. If everything is hiding.
I really want to see JD find a hookshot and no bottles and see what happens. Because that could
Yeah.
be enough, maybe? Do you think hookshot is
I-
enough for JD? Like hookshot
I
and like
think
maybe one
hookshot-
mis-slotting like ancilla item, like the bow.
Hookshot might... hookshot now might not be enough. We have ice rod, but I think the boomerang would really be the ultimate, definitely in go mode item.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like plus what SimpleClips has, like between the two of them, but minus the bottle. Because we know that like JD will get Eastern eventually, but actually, it's a good point. Is that like they don't have an Eastern plan now,
Yeah.
and away stuck pushing would be one of the solutions.
If JD got hookshot and boomerang, it's an unpleasant go mode, but it's not the worst. You would definitely want like bow or cane. Okay, yeah, we are doing Maya for SimpleClips.
Finally,
They could have
some
left.
ground.
They
Oh yeah, they
do have
didn't
the
take.
medallion, but they don't know that. Only JD knows that.
I think it's good when you have two medallions to go outside. When you have one medallion, it's really risky. But also, he
It's
could have
also
just
awful if
checked
you're
it.
wrong.
He has a flute and mitts. He could have just checked it first.
Yeah, that is true. I really like doing the just check it play when you have mitts.
Yeah, and if you walk out and it's ether, you just do Meyershed and cry. Maybe
Yeah.
Meyershed has something.
Buy
At
another
least it's a
potion.
consolation prize, right?
Yeah.
Now JD has to
Meyershed-
make a real plan because we knew it wasn't Skullwoods.
The other boomerang is also in Easton.
Oh yeah, look at that. Eastern Bridge chest.
Yeah. Yeah, JD does need a plan. They're out of good things to do without the bottle. Looks like swamp.
Oh, swamp. Yeah, I love seeing two different plays.
Kind of like it in
makes
JD's
sense.
situation.
JD does have the big key, the small key and big key of Hera, so they can just climb and walk in, do everything
can.
except for the back, and dupe the crystal.
Yeah, we could see a rare left side swamp play here.
I say dupe the crystal, I'm assuming something. There's got to be something in there, right? That lets them do that.
At this point, probably.
Even if it's a bottle, it has to have the right potion in it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
SimpleClips continues to find nothing in Mire. Just oof.
Yeah, this is abnormally difficult to find useful items. It's like, on one hand, it's interesting to be tested like this and find creative solutions, but on the other hand, it just kind of sucks. Like, sometimes you just want to hook push and YBA.
You want to do this in like the first hour of the game, and then after the hour passes, you're like, okay, now we can just play the game, please.
Yeah, now you can give me my hookshot. I did my chores. I ate my vegetables. But not yet. Actually doing cutscene chest. A little interesting.
I would be doing it with such a stingy loadout here. I mean, I guess SimpleClips has the bottle, which is a little bit nicer, but he's still done so much of the game that I don't think he can afford to be skipping things in dungeons that he's in.
Yeah, Ice Rod is not even go mode, I don't think.
I also fully expect JD to get every item in Swamp that is available to them right now.
Yeah, I think they're getting the front 6 unless they find something to make them leave, like the hookshot or the cane. Even that, like, this one.
I love this. Spiky Clip has gotten us very
Yeah.
spoiled. Nope, you do actually have to push the lever in this one.
Very rare sighting. This used to be one of the reasons that Swamp was awful in no logic. Specky Clip actually helped us so much in that regard.
Yeah, it makes it. There's a new route through Swamp where you just Specky Clip in and do Argus.
Ooh.
Oh, the bow. That's dupable.
Good, but is it?
JD doesn't have an item to dupe it with.
No.
You just have to understand that it's dupable without actually doing it. Nice
It
use
doesn't
of.
actually. Sorry.
I was just
It doesn't
thinking. Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't actually let JD beat Easton though. Is the problem?
It's like future again. It's like a future good item. Like this will be really good when we get hook fishing. This is gonna be really good when we get the one bottle. Right now, it's just like thanks game.
Yeah, cool, I guess. We had the pegs the right way coming from Hera. I think it's better in this case to get the key first, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I used to do this in HMG sometimes. I forget why. I don't think it's actually good. But having the blue pegs down lets you spend the key from Hera into Swamp and then get it back. Which JD is potentially doing right now.
Yeah, JD doesn't really need this key.
This is the Hera key though, so like actually they could use it to get Hera basement, but they could also jingle glitch to get the door open. So they don't really need it for other reasons. Oh. Okay, SimpleClips now in Real Mire, probably just gonna get the crystal for a potential like they can just get desert Viddy later on and not have to worry about being in the right dungeon state. I think this is a good play, but I'm not sure what his plan is next. It might just be Swamp.
I think I'm willing to blame JD's struggles with this on the sprite. You can't see anything.
You don't need to see in this one. You just buffer up once. But I find this one just hard because it's weird to like change directions while in the water. Oh, we need the key to get back to the front. I guess we routed Swamp in a very particular way that no,
We grabbed the key and went left with it.
It did
right.
grab the key. That's we grabbed the key. I don't know which keys we got and which keys we didn't get.
We're uncertain because no one ever does left side swamp in no logic.
Jesus, this is an hour and 19 minutes in and we're doing left side swamp and still haven't found anything.
And even SimpleClips with the bottle is struggling to find things to do.
I mean, I think JD didn't do the front of swamp because they didn't actually expect to find an item that would allow them to dupe the crystal. So
Yeah, maybe that
this.
They want to come outside the front for some reason.
If the mirror is here, they could mirror and do Hype Cave and some bunny stuff.
Unfortunate stream freeze. At least
yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe our psychic tracker could tell us.
SimpleClips is thinking.
We are all thinking in this day.
Yeah. Think Dom. We fluted. Oh, we did a screen wrap, so now we fluted to be here normally.
Are we doing Helmasaur? No, okay. That would be an option. If you get really desperate, it's green pendant. It's 2 items.
It is 2 items.
Not only is it green pendant, but like you could probably pull ped pretty easily.
Yeah, actually.
Like SimpleClips
does have the other 2 pendants.
JD wouldn't pull ped because they left behind a pendant on purpose.
Yeah.
A shield. That's exactly what we needed.
with including this might be Hype Cave,
Yes,
which
I
is
agree.
a good choice.
Just do some overworld and get some items. There's probably like 2 bottles in here.
Yeah. Yeah, if we don't find something useful in Hype Cave, like there's just something wrong with the
This
seed.
is not where you take your super bunny. Okay, we need to tell SimpleClips about the safe statue.
Yeah, that's one of the most dangerous screens for a Super Bunny.
Yeah, there's a much safer statue to pull when you are coming from Fleet 7. Like, that statue is fine if you're coming from, like, the Stumpy Super Bunny, but if you're coming from Fleet 7, you just want to pull at the
JD.
triple statue.
Yes, yeah, that is much safer and quicker. But JD is actually doing
overworld
conveyor to Maya. Yeah.
That's what the bow is. The bow is overworld conveyor so that they can waste time in Mire, just like SimpleClips did.
Find the nut.
Oh my God. That doesn't do anything for us.
No, that's like it makes.
It's like TR, I
Gives
guess.
us Pyramid Fairy.
It's more overworld than some of TR.
Yeah. It lets us do more checks so that we can continue to find nothing in them. It is very useful though. Perhaps more useful than the bow.
You know, one thing JD will be able to do that SimpleClips couldn't do is the Mire Big Chest.
Yes, that is true. Are we offset? I think yeah.
I think so. You do have to be perfectly centered for this to work. By the way, if you're wondering where the stream layout background comes from, it's from this glitch. Okay, finally we get to see Hype Cave and the 3 bottles that are inside of it. Oh,
Yeah,
mirror, that's almost a bottle.
Kind of useful.
It's kind of... I mean, you can do Mire now. Small key.
Yeah.
And...
What is this?
Okay.
We could have gone to Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, we could have...
But maybe we'll just go the normal way with the mirror
Make
offset.
a move pearl. Just walk.
Yeah. No, swimming in would have been quicker, but maybe SimpleClips was not thinking about having the pearl.
We might see like a laser bridge. No, GT maybe? We've already been to GT. I don't know what this is.
I think this is just a small brain fart and going to Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, this is Pyramid. I don't know what you call it.
Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid sounds like Miramong came up with it. Like Mix.
This looks better for JD. We have to release our spin on one of 2 frames, and JD has fired the arrow so that they can better tell what frame they're on.
I love the use of like a projectile to time things. Oh, okay. It looked like it was frozen. It looked like it failed, but it was actually just a frozen stream.
Yeah. Select buffering gear. It's not super necessary to do, but it helps. You can get yourself stuck quite easily if you just try to stop at the right place. Yes, SimpleClips Dark Cross Troop. This is what the mirror is for.
So you can get out of Dark Cross and move on with your life. Also,
yeah.
One castle tower key that JD didn't have. Maybe we'll actually see both chests in Castle Tower.
That is true. Yeah, I don't think we saw it.
It's pretty easy to mirror. Yeah, we got to the first one.
Hasn't been here at all.
Oh, really? Like we didn't even do the escape?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, Turtle Picky is fairly useful if we find the cane.
It's mildly useful if we don't find the cane because it makes it a little easier to lava dive with a bottle.
Yeah.
I want to see Castle Tower. Show me Castle Tower. Okay, we might just be doing more overworld? What's this?
Maybe we're just escape bad. Move on.
Trying to flute, maybe.
It could just be, an hour and 25 minutes in, you just assume that you've done escape. I wonder if JD will be going outside, or I guess they can't go virtuous.
We're gonna go outside back in, but what does that accomplish? Like they
They need
know that they have the medallion, they have all three, and they've seen it, but at the same time they don't have a way to kill Vitreous. So like, what's the point?
They haven't done Maya Shed yet, which is, I guess,
That's the point. Okay,
one
you're
thing.
right. But they also no, they don't have the mirror. SimpleClips has the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
Okay,
SimpleClips will get
friendly
Ice Rod. Let's go.
Yeah. And probably still not be in go mode, but
I don't think SimpleClips has a Turtle Rock solution.
yeah, Turtle Rock is hover only at this point.
Yikes. I love that quick hop. I don't think it saves time, but it's like, I'm not going to walk down these stairs. I refuse.
Yeah.
Oh, JD had just enough magic.
Yeah.
I guess what this means is that if JD doesn't find Moon Pearl, they could just like flute to 6 and walk in. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there anything else they can do while in this area, or are we done?
I think we're done. Because there's nothing useful in Maya Shed.
I'm really struggling to see a path forward for JD that doesn't involve Hype Cave.
Yeah, because they're still not going to go to Easton. They could maybe do some conveying to Turtle Rock. But there's not many checks, no matter which way they go.
By the way, a good litmus test to how well your seed is going is: are you doing the Smith?
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you doing Purple Chest?
If so, get a new seed next time. This is really the rock bottom of glitched seeds. Also, there could be something here. Hopefully. It would be time to blockbust.
That's a good point. Both of them are not in a good position to check hammer pegs for different reasons. Yeah. Also, since JD is not able to blockbust either, but let's ignore that for now.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a crystal grab, which I guess for the same reasons that I suggested earlier, is that it might be faster to come back to Meyer boss from another dungeon like Desert.
Yep.
Not have to worry about fixing your dungeon ID. Like if they get the cane later and they're in go mode, they're just gonna do Desert Vidi, and it's going to be much faster than doing Vidi. Oh yeah, I guess we didn't actually move the wall. That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, because you just go straight there.
I'm going to continue to make fun of SimpleClips' over-engineered mirror wrap.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it works.
It works.
Let's look at Turtle Rock though. Surely something useful is here.
And surely it's not cane locked somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, the hookshot. Finally, some good food.
And if SimpleClips is capable, this is go mode. It's like some annoying up pushes without the bow. But it's plenty doable.
It's doable with like the boomerang, and if you're good enough you can do the ice rod. I think I would struggle with these, but I know there are a lot of players who are comfortable with this equipment.
Yeah, making the call to just go and do swamp, totally reasonable. Because
absolutely.
SimpleClips can just do swamp.
This is a dungeon I can HMG.
Yeah, they don't even need to pre-flood the dam because they have the mirror and the pearl.
JD in East of Mountain. We saw this from SimpleClips, but it's just going to be probably the middle of TR, which means we'll get to see something else. Wait.
Can JD get to the middle of TR?
They don't have the mirror. They can
I'm
if they know
sure
the
there's a
citrus.
silly 1-frame clip, but
There's a citrus clip. It's not bad. It's literally just you just citrus onto the slope and then you jump down in a very specific way. But yeah, I always have to look it up because I never remember the jump input. I don't know.
JD
If,
is really desperate for checks.
yeah, I don't know if JD will actually go for the middle of TR citrus. That's kind of end game material, but they are running dry. You know, it's
And
another.
there's
If JD can overall conveyor to laser bridge, that would be super awesome.
yeah, that would be JD's best path through the seed right now. Especially given that apparently the seed only has one bottle and it's in Easton. SimpleClips does not have the Harris wall, so they have to steal this one to
What
do
was that?
Swamp Way.
I saw it,
I
but I don't remember where it was.
was
GT maybe.
in Ice. Oh, I Panga Hero.
Oh,
I SimpleClips chose not to after doing the
do it.
boss,
Okay. I
which
mean,
is fair.
SimpleClips can afford to skip things more than JD can.
Yeah.
Like one bottle is infinitely more than 0. One bottle and hookshot should be go mode if you can hook push. Also, once they're in swamp, he'll probably just get the bow and then he'll be super fine.
Well, oh no, he has Swamp Big, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
I checked that. I was like, okay, wait, swamp big or no swamp big? You can do like a specky clip to very quickly grab it with the Hera big if you think about it, but if you are go moding, you probably won't.
Yeah. JD is doing the conveyor to laser bridge, so we do have a race on our hands.
Yes, this is really good. JD is, I think, more comfortable with exotic hook pushes than SimpleClips is. Maybe just in general hook pushes. Yeah. But at the same time, we have to ask, is JD in go mode with the hook shot?
Yeah, I did notice this earlier. JD's menu looks ridiculous with no bottle, cane, mirror. They're going to get the hook shot and have 3 full rows of items and 1 burner at the bottom.
It's top heavy.
Yeah.
What's cool about finding hookshot here is JD could just immediately go to Trinex.
Yeah, I expect JD to do Trinex on this trip. It's a lot easier for JD than for SimpleClips.
JD does have exactly 1 boomerang. It's all you need. Doesn't matter which color. Yeah. We like them for different reasons. All boomerangs are beautiful, but for this purpose, it doesn't really matter which one you have. If you have the red one, you have to know the caveats, but otherwise, you're fine. Okay, here we go. Yeah, possibly go mode for JD. Nice. I keep thinking they're like pausing, but it's just the screen buffering.
No, it did look a little bit like they got the hook shot and we're just like, really?
Yeah.
Really, game?
Oh, I love getting stuck on those rails. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think JD is asking themselves, are they in go mode? I think the answer is yes.
Okay, let's go one by one. What's the Meyer solution? Meyer solution is Desert Hook Push Vidi, maybe? Or even just Meyer Hook Push Vidi. Eastern is just a pretty straightforward hook push past the big key door and then use the bow to get to Armos.
Yeah, you could even hook push from
Spectral. Yeah, this is free. This isn't even hard. And then Swamp is it's Swamp with hookshot. It's just free.
Yeah, you just need... Yeah.
JD has not got Meyer Boss, but does have Meyer Crystal. Correct.
Vitreous is like a small problem. It just involves more hook pushing to get around needing the cane. But it is very doable.
I think Eastern is actually the harder dungeon. I find that hook push in the middle room to be really hard on fast ROM. I have trouble getting the hooks out fast enough.
Yeah, you can do it at the lower part where it's slightly easier. You could also, if you want to show off, you can do a slot 2 push in the front room, but that's a lot more difficult.
How do you do it at the lower part without going into EG? Do you have to go onto that platform and then release?
Well, you don't go into EG if you hit the transition. You go, you walk up the stairs.
Oh, you walk up the stairs. Okay, you do go on that little platform.
I misunderstood the question. Yeah, you do have to go.
I guess there's 2 platforms in there. There's the big chest and there's the big key door. I mean, the big key door. I'll have to try that next time. I really want to see JD finish with no bottles. I'm afraid that he'll find one.
It's a hard push to set up without the boomerang because you can't really stock one going up.
Ooh. SimpleClips did the bomb, no splash, diver down. That's a really good skill for no logic, because you don't always have flippers and you don't always have cane.
Yeah, that one is it's kind of the best in terms of it's the one you can always do. Because you always have bombs.
It looked reasonably easy, too. I just never learned it.
Yeah, it's not difficult, it's just that for most people, the only time you're there is with flippers. So you just learn the flippers way.
I don't even like the flippers way.
Yeah, no, it's...
This is, I'm going to hook push for eternity potion,
Yes.
or the version of potion buying that is, I don't have bottles, I only have hook pushing.
Yeah, neither of them came here early, so we didn't talk about it, but this is a pretty common trip when you have hook pushing. Because it's very easy to burn through a lot of resources doing it.
And it's not uncommon to see multiple upgrades purchased on the same trip. Yeah, we have so much money. Still outriching SimpleClips despite buying the hammer.
This is still not the most upgrades I've seen bought in a race, though.
I've seen up to 30 bombs. And I've seen the person with 30 bombs run out of bombs.
Yes, it happens. So we're both finishing up Swamp. Got half magic, which is kind of nice.
You can hook push the back of Eastern from here.
Yeah.
I forgot.
This replaces Stairmaster.
Okay, here's the solution. I love this. I think I know what JD's gonna do. You can do Eastern Boss, and then you can do front of Eastern, go to Meyer, do Eastern Vidi.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, I love this. I don't even know for sure that this is what they're doing, but I already love it.
If they do it, I'll be so impressed.
Meanwhile, SimpleClips has 2 dungeons left to complete. One of them is Meyer, and they also have the crystal, so they're also doing Eastern Vidi, but they're doing it a different way. They're probably going to... Oh no, they have the bow, they're just going to hook push too. He's just going to hook push. He's ahead, I think, in progress. And he has the Moon Pearl.
SimpleClips is ahead if they can do the Trinex push, which is not a given.
What is this?
But with the bow, it becomes a lot simpler.
Wait, tell me what SimpleClips is doing.
I think SimpleClips is getting prize. They're doing a wrong walk to helmet or something. Maybe? I guess I'm not sure what this is. I mean, if this is the bottle tube, it's very convoluted. It's going to take a lot of YBAs.
Why are we going to pod?
I think we want to just get the Eastern prize.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh, this is one of those like multi-world tech that you do when you like don't care about crystal bosses.
Yeah.
Okay. I still think, yeah, I thought maybe we were just doing Vidi, but I didn't think
love this.
Well, I thought we had
glass windows in the Eastern Armor's room.
Oh yeah. Is this one of the rooms where you can get stuck in those windows if you touch it?
I don't think... It may be, actually, maybe. That may be the case. It's the case in the Turtle Rock tile set.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought of this. Walk out of the room just to get the arrows, because you know you're going to do a bunch of hook pushing. Why is the door open? I don't think we entirely understand why that happens. Especially because we don't have the Eastern Crystal. Maybe it's because we already fought a boss in Cave State.
Yeah, that might be it. It may be that some prize is like matches the cave prize, so it's like you have the prize of Cave State, so...
Oh, it's probably the compass that drops in blind. If you
it may just also be like having the prize of Pod or Thieves Town would work for...
Oh, okay.
Just the same way, because I remember one time, I got a compass of this dungeon in Cave State, and then I had the desert compass. So I think it's not just big keys that work like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've never thought about it working like that. But that would be my guess.
Well, SimpleClips is not doing the thing that he was doing before, so I can stop
Yeah.
questioning it. So I thought SimpleClips just had the Eastern prize. I wasn't sure why he would be wrong whipping. We're still doing it. What is this?
Maybe we are trying to dupe, and we're... But, oh, we had to do the first one because the cannonball chest was
Oh,
open.
we're refilling chests. We're duping the bottle.
Was
SimpleClips
the
needs...
first YBA successful, though?
I'm not sure. SimpleClips is... Yeah, like needing a second bottle to beat this game. Which is pretty funny because JD has 0 and is doing the same thing. But I guess like your comfort level with hook pushing is going to be a big factor in a seed like this.
Yeah, what SimpleClips is trying to do is carry a chest flag from a tile which does not have the chest open all the way to the map chest, which is a pain because it's surrounded by tiles which have open chests.
I love that we were joking about duping that bottle a long time ago, and it's actually
Yes,
happening. This is incredible.
It's happening because the seed is
The seed
giving
made
us
it
nothing.
happen. Yep, the seed is like, oh,
Where are the
you
items?
want to joke about duping bottles? We're gonna plan
We have
the
one
seed.
bottle between 2 runners at 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yes, we're about to have 2 bottles between 2 runners, and it's the same bottle and the same runner.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they could have just done this from the dark keypot room, the first one. That chest is closed, so I guess they did do it.
As much as I love this bottle dupe, I do think this is giving JD a much needed catch-up time for the race.
Yeah, it's indicative of SimpleClips not being comfortable enough with the hook pushing.
Yeah,
they have to do a YBA here, which is probably the hardest one. I'm not sure
This is
how
the one
you
I
do
was
this.
worried about. This is the one where I was like, well, I wouldn't do this because you have to do this auto door YBA. Or you have to do the deep door YBA, or you have to go all the way to the dark room and do it. I've tried this before too and run into this problem and be like, oh, never mind, I'm not duping this. So.
Yeah, the easiest way of doing that YBA is sort of just to wing it, which is not very easy. It's auto door YBAs are difficult enough, but this particular direction as a super dial door, you can't do like the normal snap to the pixel method.
Well, given that we've seen like everything between the 2 runners that they have to do except for Vitreous, I think this is the last chance for JD to like accidentally get a bottle.
Yeah.
Which is good. We kind of want to see like no bottles for the rest of the seed for JD because that's cool. We know that they're capable of beating the game with hook pushing alone. So it's always fun to have a no logic seed where you finish without bottles. It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
And it's not even you're not even doing it because it's free. You're doing it because it was the opposite of free.
Oh, that's fair. SimpleClips does seem to be aware that they have to go in further, the deep door. They can't use the normal visual cues, but I mean, there's just no real working visual cue for this.
I don't think anybody has come up with a time bomb setup for this, and that was not a successful IBA.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were going west or north, you could snap, but you can't do that east. I understand the confusion. Like, it's difficult to think of the dark room as below the map chest because you don't go from the map chest to the dark room. You have to do like a big loop first.
That doesn't have EG problems, does it? I know that EG duping is kind of legal in this tournament, as of like 2 weeks ago, but
I think no matter what, you would have to death wall bomb her out because I don't think you can go from. I don't know where the YBA would put you.
Sometimes the super tile YBAs are fixable, but in this case, I think mirroring out would be faster anyway because you're not really anywhere near the chest when you do that YBA. Yeah, so this is really fun for the tracker. Is we actually do have all of it done, I think.
Yeah, JD did armors in cave state. They did east in Vidi, And they did mine separately earlier on to get the crystal. SimpleClips trying this YBA again.
It's funny that
though,
yeah.
is the plan really just to double YBA Trinex? Is that easier than hook pushing?
Does this work? Because you're in a juked position when you do that snap, right?
Yeah, the snap doesn't put you on the right spot.
Yeah, that's why we don't really do these side auto doors. Yeah, it's unfortunate that SimpleClips like has a solution and is struggling to execute on it. Because it is a cool solution.
It is a little unfortunate that some no-logic races are kind of decided this way, but this is so extreme. They just... I'm still struggling to wrap my head around the fact that they just got nothing.
It's incredible how hard they had to work to get to the hook shot, which is, for a JD, like the only thing they got in SimpleClips to get to any number of bottles beyond one. Also, did JD just route Eastern in such a way that they never got the bottle here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they did anything.
Just hard go mode, I guess.
Yeah. I don't really know what a bottle does for JD at this point, really.
No, it's disappointing.
For Lava Dive.
Makes the menu look weird. Less weird,
that's true.
Yes.
Well, it's symmetrical now, so it's like... If they find the bottle, they have to find the mirror as well.
I was just thinking for SimpleClips that you could probably select buffer YB this.
Yeah,
like you can with other auto doors.
The best way. It's not very good, but it's... There's no good way of doing this YBA, is the thing.
How do you like know that what the pixel is? You just have to like do it a bunch of times and find it, and then actually do the YBA once you know it.
Probably do it with soil or something.
Oh, let's go. We're in EG, or just juked. Yeah. I think we're into EG. We've determined, like by vote, that this is fine, as long as you're not like using the EG to do EG things.
Yeah. Yeah, with the mirror we can just leave immediately, which is fine.
And if we didn't have the mirror, it would be perfectly fine to save and quit out. Does that make SimpleClips the first person to do an EG dupe in a tournament race?
I think so. I haven't seen many dupes at all so far. At least not outside of Hera. Here it is, our second, in quotes, bottle.
Yes, our first bottle, let's go.
It looks like it's a little late. Even if they successfully do the double IVA, which is not a given. That's very difficult.
JD's biggest hurdle is like getting to Agatu now, which is... It's not trivial.
Yeah, they'll have to convey it to the middle, I think, of Turtle Rock. And then...
I agree. I think that's their best solution. I mean, the other solution is Climb GT, which JD famously loves to see people do.
No, yes. I would expect JD would do a lot of things before climbing GT.
Climbing GT is a lot more fun when you can hook push from Gauntlet 2 to Moldorm 2.
Yeah.
That's what I would do because it's more fun, but I know that JD's solution is probably faster.
Yeah, they seem a little thinking about what they're doing.
Taking advantage of fake Dark World, setting an index, and then probably going to do the overworld conveyor. I'm not really sure why they felt like they needed to do the index first, but maybe they just needed thinking time.
Yeah, possibly. So SimpleClips, I guess the Persians are for Vitreous, not for Trinex.
I mean, if you don't do the hook push in Trinex and Vitreous, you're probably not doing it in Trinex either.
No, that's true.
I find the Vitreous Oceans, like, hard. I don't know. This one's really particular. You have to back out a certain amount, and you have to pay attention to your key count. And then you have to do a spin YBA in the next room, and then you have to, like, kill Vitreous, which is fine for SimpleClips as equipment, but sometimes you can get here with bad equipment.
Okay, here's the... Are we gonna do Super Bunny and Long again? Because I believe they did that in their last race. Oh, they don't have the mirror. They can't do
No,
it.
the mirror. It's okay.
They have to death warp with 15
Oh, they have full health.
hearts.
Oh, they should have saved and quit.
Yeah.
Oh well. You don't think about that until you're in here. I mean, most of us have a hard time not healing at the old man out of reflex. So.
Yeah. It's the most common thought. You reach a death warp, you're like, I shouldn't have healed. But it never happens before the death warp. Only once you start doing it.
Oh no, I will think about it while walking out of the old man cave. Why did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, JD is going to be able to hook push into the lava, and obviously inside the lava is where Act 2 lives.
SimpleClips needs to consume magic to make this work.
Yes.
The good news for SimpleClips is if he fails the YGA, he does have a mirror as a backup.
I'm not sure that SimpleClips will want to do the mirror door. I mean, they could have just done the mirror door to begin with, instead of duping.
Yeah, which is why I think that this bottle is for Trinex and not for Vidi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think the mirror would have been go mode if that's all he needed.
That's true. Ooh, very short hook push, but it worked.
I hope it works. It has to get them through the wall. Okay, it's good. And that's Silver Arrows and Vitreous Dead for SimpleClips. Already has the crystal, so there's really nothing to grab here. And I expect to see the Trinex double YBA. Do you think SimpleClips knows how to hook push at all?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've seen them do it, but maybe not.
Maybe
it's definitely not a
Samari-
given. Hook pushing is not simple. It's not a simple clip.
Really complicated to learn. Once you know it, it's powerful and it's amazing, but learning it is such a hurdle.
I think what a lot of people do... Ooh, that looks scary.
Wow.
What a lot of people do is they learn the 2 or 3 easy but common helpful ones, like front of Eastern, front of Swamp, and then they don't take the next step to learning the machinations and why it works, which makes sense because it takes a really long time to learn all of that stuff.
Yeah, you have to get a PhD in like ancilla science.
Yeah.
Then you have to like study the EG map to know where you can do it. There's like a big pyramid of like learning hook pushing. It starts with just the essentials, and then it's like, do we actually understand how it works and where you can use it, and don't just learn what's on the glitch map, but like look at a wall and think I can hook push through that. Oh, we get to see another one of these mirror wraps.
At the very top of the pyramid is losing races because you keep pushing yourself to do more complicated hook pushes that don't work.
Yes. Or just pushing your go mode back farther and farther so that your go mode is like ice rod hook pushing and your opponent is just finding items.
Yeah, exactly.
SimpleClips has Mire complete. And this is his last dungeon. So it's still pretty close if he can pull this off. He does need to okay, he's gonna bomb himself, which is going to take care of the health problem. But JD is murdering Ganon. Ooh, nice swag slash. I love to see it. Very nice fight.
Yeah. GG to JD for completing the seed bottleless.
Yes, I love it. GG.
Possibly the first bottleless seed.
First bottleless seed in any tournament, maybe? Do you think? Well, in any no logic tournament.
I would be surprised if earlier ones. Oh, that's.
Oh, yeah, hate to see it. Hard resetting to get the bottles back at least, which is a sign that maybe he won't forfeit, and we'll actually get to see the race finished.
Yeah, people don't like the double IVA for many reasons. This is one of them. It's so punishing to fail.
Yeah, that might be his motivation to learn the OA stuck push to Trinex. It's one of the easier ones. We have the equipment for it. And he does have ideal equipment for OA stuck pushing.
that is how a lot of glitches get learned, is you do a seed and you take a lot longer than you need to because of not knowing something. So you change that.
You get really tired of Castle Tower, so you learn fake
Yeah.
clippers.
Exactly.
We are joined by JD. Congrats on your bottleless finish.
Sorry, I was having a tech issue. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, GG.
GG. How did you feel
You
about
can
that?
hear me,
I
but I
feel
can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry. I think I figured it out.
okay, GG.
GG.
Thank you.
I think I know the answer, but how did you feel about this seed?
Dude, that seed was really something. You know, the whole time I was doing a lot of stuff and I was thinking, like, if there's something good in Eastern, like, I am, like, so dead. So I just had to, like, commit to the Eastern skip because that was, like, the only, like, quote-unquote easy or free items that I skipped. Like, I literally full cleared everywhere I went to, like, the best of my ability, like, with the resources that I had until I got to TR. So, like, yeah, I don't know if, that seed was really, really interesting, actually. I feel like I could have got a better time, like on a better execution day, but a sub 2 for a seed like that is actually not terrible, I think.
You want to know where the bottle is? It's
The D
Eastern.
bottle.
It's
There's
the
only
bottle. Yes, there's only one bottle in this seed. SimpleClips was so desperate for a bottle on Go mode that he duped it, and it wasn't even an easy dupe. It was like a dupe requiring 2 other YBAs to refill chests in a chain. So this was not just a free seed that you missed out on. This was actually a hard seed.
SimpleClips had
I
this
still
bottle
feel
for
like
a while.
I feel like that bottle would have helped a lot, honestly. Like I was scraping like the bottom of my bag of tricks on this seed, like honestly.
The fact that that bow gave you overall compare was like huge. Like that mattered so much because it got you to the hook shot. There's a moon pearl on Stumpy that SimpleClips picked up, following like a fake flute, finding mirror and hype cave and so on. But that didn't really help that much. Mirror is good for Vitreous for a backup mirror YBA, but if you don't have a solution to Trinex, then you still need that hook shot.
Yeah. I don't know. So how far is SimpleClips along in their progress?
He's doing Trinex. It's his last dungeon, but it's the double YBA. He doesn't know the hook push, so he's doing the classic just try the double YBA and over again thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, they would have been a little bit behind if they got it first try. They were the first to the hook shot, but not by that much. It was surprisingly close given how many different things happened.
He was ahead of you if he could do the hook pushes, for sure. He was like 2 dungeons in the lead. But then he spent a long time duping the bottle because he needed it. And that ended up determining the race.
I am not surprised at all by that. I made a lot of mistakes and like some of the like soft locking in Ice Palace and so I don't know. I just think that yeah, I'm not really happy with how I played in either of these races, but it just happens that it was good enough in this case to win.
A lot of no logic races are like that. You just you have to know that your opponent is also making mistakes, and a seed like this is going to. The more time you spend in the seed, the more likely you are to soft lock and do things like that. After a while, you can just add them up and they even out, and overall the seed was determined by the fact that maybe one person just gets a bottle earlier and one person is more comfortable with hook pushing.
Spooks does finally get Trinex, by the way.
Well, that's good. I'm really glad that I was thinking the whole time. I was like, this, if I had gotten this seed in the last, like 2 years ago tournament, I wouldn't have been able to. Well, I don't know. I can't say that. I would have went to Eastern. Like old me would have broke down and went to Eastern because I didn't know conveyor back then. But I don't know. This seed was like the most interesting seed I've had in a while, actually, and I think it's a little unfortunate that it was for a tournament race because that makes it more stressful and like less enjoyable, but it is what it is, though. The potion shopping. Yeah, one of my checks was mushroom. I'm like, how am I gonna do that? But like I had so few checks that were easy to do that I ended up going and just checking it, and I had so many like impossible decisions. Like, do I do left side swamp? Oh, I flooded it, so I have to go to left side swamp, or I can't exit out the front because my tile set is broken now. And just there was so many like little things that like you would have to know no logic to like understand the subtlety and the complexity of all like the ridiculous stuff that was going on in that seed. I don't know if that was apparently obvious to you guys or to any of the viewers, but I don't know. This was a weird seed.
Oh, for sure. It was like almost uncomfortable how we were seeing you and SimpleClips both clearing more or less the same things but in different order. So we were getting all the information quickly. And every time you got something, it'd be like, oh, good, you found a fire rod. You can waste time in Skull Woods. And we knew
Yeah,
ahead
there
of
was
time. Oh,
nothing.
there's a bottle.
Oh,
We found a
the
bottle. It's in TR.
second bottle.
You were so close to accidentally getting a bottle. We were really hoping you wouldn't find one by the time you were in go mode because it's much
Well,
cooler.
I didn't have TR big key. I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't open that chest. I didn't
Oh,
have
that's
TR
true.
big key.
That's true. But you could have gotten like the Eastern bottle if you weren't comfortable with your go mode.
Oh, like that was like such a late go mode. Like that was like one of the longest go modes of like any no logic seed. I think that I mean, for how late it was. I mean, normally when you get late go mode, you just finish up like 1 or 2 dungeons. I don't know. That was so. Ugh. And I have to say, okay, hopefully I remember how to do bomb diver downs, because the reason why I've been doing it wrong is because I was looking at Shex's video to do the splashless one, which involves placing the bomb on the right, and then, but the normal one that I used to do for a non-glitch rando is place the bomb on the left, and so my brain is just like confused because I never do bomb diver down in the first place. That was really embarrassing, but I felt like I had to bring it up to like kind of say the reason I was struggling with it.
Oh yeah, no, I think everyone has troubles with bomb diver down every now and then.
When I did a lot of cross keys, like before I got into the glitch modes, I was consistent at it, and now I'm not. Like, I usually do the Samaria, like, sword buffer diver down, or or the splash one in the other rooms with the Samaria block, but I guess it's obviously it's easier. But I'm glad SimpleClips wasn't terribly far behind. Like, 10 minutes in a seed like this, they were getting walled by the double YPA. It's not a landslide victory. I don't know what SimpleClips' experience. Like, I've never really watched them play that much other than watching the last race back, but
I think SimpleClips never went through the no logic mentor tournament, right? I think he was in the H&G one. And I think he just kind of YOLO'd into the no logic scene after that.
I mean, the bottle definitely helped
Well,
SimpleClips, but it was... They just kept going to places that didn't give them the final piece of go mode.
Well, I probably would have been able to find, like, the bottles and Samarian hopeful items, you know, having the hook shot. But, like, at that point, like, why bother when you can just finish the game? I don't know, I was just thinking, though, that if SimpleClips is a newer no logic player, as I think they are, like, I hope they, like, feel good about just completing the seed, honestly. This seed was seriously no joke.
Definitely a challenge, and also an incentive to learn some hook pushes. But the dupes were really cool. You might want to watch it back to see how he solved that seed, because it was Really cool seeing both of you in Eastern doing different solutions at the same time.
Which bottle was or which chest was the bottle? I mean,
It was the map chest, the one you hookshot to.
the map chest. No, I got the fire rod in the. Oh, the map chest
That's
is
the
the right
compass
side.
chest.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
mixed up. Yeah.
I did the same thing
understood.
earlier. I was like, oh, the dupable chest. No.
It's the map/compass chest.
It is dupable, but it's not easy. So
I did not feel good when I
every
saw.
door leading out of the room is either a deep door or an auto door, or really far away.
We are also joined by SimpleClips. GG.
GG's.
GG.
I think that was
Yeah,
probably the most infuriated anyone has ever been finding a hookshot. Because I found that hookshot and my immediate thought is they're stuck pushing and I don't know the 0A stuck push.
Oh no! Well, you'll learn it. You'll learn it after, right? It's not that hard. I can teach you if you want.
Oh, that'd be nice. I think I did do it at some point. The problem wasn't so much learning it; it was more so I was inconsistent enough. I kept running out of arrows.
I see. If you can get the stuck push, the 0A part is literally just do your boomerang up left and then do the release at some point. So like the OA part is it's not the hard part. If you can get the stuck push, you're good.
Ah.
Yeah, it was very impressive watching the dupe that you engineered and carried out though for that second bottle.
I had been thinking about that since I think a couple minutes after I opened the big chest, I was thinking, oh, I could have duped that bottle. And only when I went there did I realize that it was an auto door and a deep door. And I was like, come on.
Yeah.
That is impressive. I'm gonna watch this back because I don't know. I didn't even go to Eastern until the end, and I didn't even get the bottle at all.
Oh wow! If you know how to write bomb juke, it's basically the same thing. You get yourself as deep as you can with the bomb, but then you hit right, and then hit the bottle. I think it's just one frame after.
Jesus. I saw you succeed, and I didn't even question. Like, I was like, I'm not questioning this. It succeeded. It looked good. I'm never doing this myself.
I mean, it's just as hard as the bomb juke, a right bomb juke, I think.
Yeah, I understand that it's literally the same inputs. You're just using a different button, but it's different when it's a YBA. I think the cost of failure is greater.
I think next time I am going to dupe the bottle sooner, because I think I would have been in go mode much sooner. Especially.
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially after I got the moon pearl, because then it was convenient too.
Mm-hmm. Chex was suggesting that you could also YBA north from the dark room in Eastern. There's a shutter door there, and you can do a more simple like north YBA or something. But that's not intuitive. That's below the chest that you wanted to dupe. Huh. You know, like where you get the Stalfos pot key, like the dark room.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can like YBA north in there, and that refills the chest too.
So YBA north to that rupee room in Eastern?
No, not that dark room.
Oh.
The other one. Yeah, dark anti-fury room.
Huh.
It's a solution you only think about when you study the neurologic or the EG map every night before going to sleep.
Yeah, but wallpapered on your wall.
Yeah.
You've painted it with acrylics.
So where was this moon pearl?
Stumpy.
Oh, you said. I thought I misunderstood what you said then.
Yeah, there's like.
Wasn't hype. Gave moon pearl Stumpy.
Yeah, you could do like a big old fake flute play and get a bunch of stuff, but it only kind of helps. Like moon pearl's nice, mirror's nice, but it's not a solution to the problem.
Yeah, I when I fake fluted to get Hype Cave, I went left to grab those first because I figured I'm running out of fake flute stuff to do, so there's nothing else to loop this in with.
Yeah, I don't know. This seed was pretty nuts. Like I was saying to Tam and Malmo, like when you were finishing up, that like if you are like a newer No Logic player, which I think you are, but I like wasn't sure, right? But you should be proud of just finishing a seed like this, because this is one of the most interesting seeds I've actually seen in a while. I actually had to think about like what to do. Like it wasn't like a list of options. Well, I mean there were options, but like not good options. You really had to like
Yes,
do it.
they were pretty awful, and I was pretty close multiple times to missing a bunch of good things in Eastern, because when I first went in there, I figured I just learned a bunch of duping, a bunch of ways to dupe things in Eastern. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna grab the 2 chests I know how to dupe. So I was going to just grab the big key chest and then the cannonball chest, but then I messed up I forget what that glitch is called. The one you would normally use to do Bolus Eastern. Oh, quadrant glitch. I was trying to do a quadrant glitch to grab those 2 chests, and it didn't work because I was messing up my select buffers. So I just figured, okay, I'll grab the chest on the right, and that was the fairy bottle. And then later I came in there. Yeah, the cannonballs.
Sorry, but yeah, I'm familiar with that. I just wasn't sure. But yeah, what you're saying makes sense to me, though.
Yeah, basically I failed that trick, and that's why I grabbed the bottle when I did. And I later came back with a Cave State Eastern play, and that was the only reason I saw that fire rod.
Well, my fire rod was in GT. I didn't like. I got that as my second fire rod, and I only got it because I literally was. It was like on the way. I hookshotted it when I was setting up a stuck push to Meyer. That was the only. I was like, I should just open this because I'm like literally on top of it right now. And I was not happy to see that it was another fire rod. Like it made me feel like I was about to lose at any moment. Like when I saw that.
Yeah, it probably
That
would
was
have been
pretty nuts.
Yeah, it probably would have been closer if I duped the bottle sooner, but I'm not sure either because I got a bunch of stuff that made things a little nicer on my journey to grab every tech except the bottle in TR Big Chest.
I was just curious, did you happen to get Ice Big Chest or GT Big Chest? Because I felt bad about some of the stuff I was leaving behind because I kept getting these big keys to places I had already been to, and I was like, that's not good.
I don't think I ever opened Ice Big Chest. I didn't open Pod Big Chest or GT Big Chest, but I did do the Bomb Duke and got to the back of GT that way. But I didn't have my Cave State key.
Oh, that's interesting. So the fire rod that I got was actually in Rando Room, and I think it was the only thing that was of any value that I got from that whole trip.
Huh. Did you do the juke to left side GT?
No, I bought the hammer from Zora. Like, I was planning to reset it, but I was like, the hammer is a pretty powerful item, especially when I have 0 glitch items. So I just kept it the whole seed, and it served me well.
Wow. I probably would have left location anything good on Zora because I want that money.
Well, I had nothing to spend the money on, and I had the save scum set up. Like, I death warped out of Desert, and I did a map wrap from Desert to Zora. So if it was like a junk item, I was just going to reset to get the money back. But I felt good about the hammer, and I did use it a lot. I used it to get to Cold Stare because I had no bottles. Like, I used it to get my fire rod in GT. It was good that I got the hammer, because if I didn't, well, I don't know, I would have been set on an entirely different course through the seed. I probably would have been more similar to yours. I might have broke down and went to Eastern eventually, but it would have been too late. Like, and I thought my bomb juke to Thieves Town was gonna be a big deal, but because I don't know, a lot of people just don't know that, but I don't know if I actually got that much value out of that, other than like Desert Big Key or Quake might have been there, but I see you have those items though.
Oh yeah, I still haven't learned that juke, but it's just because when I've tried to, I have failed to.
It's
I'm
pretty
not very
tricky
good
if
at
you're
that.
doing it with just bombs, but it's not as hard as I initially. When I first learned it, I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. But when you kind of get a feel for it, it's not quite as bad. And I did buy the bomb upgrade beforehand and ended up not needing it for that. Like I did it in under 10 bombs, and I had blue mail, so I wasn't worried about dying. But I actually have a tutorial for that if anyone's interested. It's highlighted on my Twitch. If anyone wants to take a look, it shows how to do it with Samaria and without Samaria. But yeah, I can't believe I won that one, but I'm glad that it wasn't too far apart. They said that you were like right behind me. It's just I had a bad day with the Trinex YBA, which happens to everybody.
I think part of it was after that dupe, my hand was jittery because I was sitting there with that dupe, like, no, this has to work or I'm done for.
Yeah, I understand shaky hands. I've had to limit my coffee intake with ALTTP, so my hands don't shake because I tend to drink too much coffee normally, but I understand, and especially the nerves. If you get nervous, it makes it 10 times worse.
I didn't even stop when I saw that you finished. It was still shaking.
Yeah, anyway, this was a really interesting race you had there. Thank you for playing today. Tonight we have a couple more races. We don't have channels for them yet, but keep your eye on the schedule for Red Kitsune versus Breadcoon, which has crew, but no channel yet. And that is going to be at 2 a.m. Eastern. And then later that morning/night, there will be potentially Trace Buyer versus Nobly if that one gets crew as well. JD, you will be playing me in the next round.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Before this match with SimpleClips, I was like, because I was been kind of de-rusting and getting used to the new controller that I bought, and I was just like thinking like, I gotta lose 4 times before I'm out of this, and I didn't even lose yet. So I guess my journey continues.
Welcome to being an experienced runner. Get used to it.
No, you'll beat me. I make way more mistakes than you. Like, I'm gonna try my best, but
I think you legitimately know more glitches than I do, so don't count yourself out.
Yeah, your AD RMG is like 2 to 4 minutes. I don't remember. I have a 117, and I think you have a 114.
I do not have a 114. But
115.
I appreciate the confidence. And SimpleClips still waiting for an opponent. That will be the loser of Boo This Man versus So, which is a round 2 race that will be probably next week or this week coming up. So we'll be, there's a lot of matchups happening in the first 2 rounds of double elimination. And so far we've managed to get all of them on Restream. So thank you to my co-commentator Tam and our tracker Other Tom for joining me in this race, and have a good night, everyone.